What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the Engineers That Filters podcast, episode 134. I'm your host, Jacob Thompson, and tonight I'm just drinking water. It's one of those days where I don't really feel like drinking beer. Had a lot for dinner, so I'm taking a pass tonight, boys. I'm sorry.
More of those shit your pants burritos?
No, I had a classic Jacob special, which is frozen pizza.
Nice.
Yeah.
I'm Joseph, and I have New Holland's Little Piglet, which is a session IPA.
I think I've had that.
I had it last time I was in New Holland too. It's pretty good. I like it. It's obviously better on tap, but
Yeah.
I got this when I was in Michigan 2 weeks ago.
Nice.
Very nice.
Well, I'm Gabe, and I'm sticking to the tried and true Miller High Life in a bottle. I have some nice beer, but I'm saving it. You know?
You're trying to say High Life in a bottle isn't nice beer?
I think he is.
Yes.
It's not a novel beer.
It's nice for
Sure.
it being cheap.
Yeah.
I don't even remember. All I know is I have a hazy IPA downstairs. I don't even know which one. It might be Bell's Official.
I would say there's official in the fridge.
Yeah, that's mine.
Do you guys like that? I haven't had it.
I don't mind it.
I think it's pretty good.
Pretty good.
It just seems like it wouldn't be like a beer that I would like grab. It's like if I'm gonna get a hazy, I'm gonna get it from like a small brewery.
I mean, I don't know. It's pretty
There's
standard.
Yeah, it's a standard hazy. There's
Yeah.
nothing about it. It's just a standard hazy. There's
Is
no
it
like
it's remember being like not too expensive, but
yeah.
Yeah, well, that whole 6-pack was $9, so it was like easy.
yeah, I'm trying
It's
to
like
save some
$1 cheaper than another 6-pack, but still,
Yeah.
it felt like I was saving money.
Yeah.
After I bought the case of 24 bottles from the back of Total Wine.
Nice. Dave, what do you got there?
I am Dayton, and I am drinking PBR, but this PBR is not your ordinary PBR. Just
If that's
like
the coffee one.
Nope. Just
Okay.
like with every single beer that I drink, there's always a story attached to it. And Joseph's shaking his head like, "Damn it, Dayton, why are you back on your bullshit?"
I just know it's probably been left in your fridge by some friends. Been there for 12 months or some shit.
you are
You probably
actually
found it.
You are completely incorrect, Joseph.
Oh, is this the
Completely.
stuff I know what it is.
Did you find this somewhere that like it shouldn't have been?
That's my bet as well.
It's gonna be part of the weekly anecdotes. So
All right. What?
I
Is that a
apologize
motorcycle?
for that.
Jesus
that-
Christ.
that
There's
guy
a
is
motorcycle
absolutely
outside.
ripping, and you can
I'm
probably
gonna
hear it
close
through
the
both
window before it gets too
my channel and Joseph's channel. So
That was ripping and roaring out
If
there in the streets of
they didn't
Minneapolis.
edit it. I am sorry.
That'll be in the video version for
We
sure.
live by a highway.
That wasn't even on the highway. That was
Yeah.
straight up on our side street.
Well, goddamn. Welcome back to the Engineers That Filters podcast, everyone. As always, you can find our show on Mondays on YouTube and podcast services. Don't forget to follow us on Instagram at ewfpodcast, and please follow us on Twitch at ewf_podcast, where we're gaming Mondays and podcasting on Thursdays. But let's get into our weekly anecdotes. Dayton, I can't wait any longer. What's going on with this beer?
all right. Well, so if you all are watching on Twitch right now, the title of it is called Episode 134, The Dumpster PC, okay? The dumpster computer.
Find this in the garbage with your beer.
Hold your freaking horses.
Dude.
Hold your horses, okay? So,
You're drinking piss beer out of a dumpster.
you are getting way too far ahead of yourself, and you're setting yourself up for disappointment, Joseph. Because this is going somewhere where I don't think you're expecting it. So, I was throwing out my trash, as a good citizen, bringing the recycling to the recycling bins as a good citizen does. And I'm kind of fucking nosy. I'm not afraid to admit that. So I kind of, every time I go and I throw shit into the trash, I just kind of like look around. I'm like, what are people eating this week? Like, kind of. I'm not digging. I won't say I'm digging through their trash, but I'm definitely looking. So
Are you saying like you're looking through like the partially opaque trash bags, or what do you mean?
no, a lot of people just dump it in. So like into like the bins.
It's just loose.
It's just loose.
Sandwiches.
So like,
Okay.
hey, that's what I do. So I don't know.
Oh, for the recycling, I guess. Yeah, not for like
yeah,
actual
for
trash.
recycling, not for
Gotcha,
actual
gotcha.
trash. Just like I see like pasta boxes and like LaCroix cans and shit like that. Usually nothing too interesting. But then like I kind of look over into the trash bin, and I guess garbage day just happened because it was pretty empty. But I look in there and I find an entire fucking PC. Okay, and I'm just like, what the fuck? Like, why is there an entire damn PC just chilling in the trash right here? So I was like, all right, I'm not scared of dumpster diving. I used to dumpster dive a lot back in high school. So I freaking
You're back in your element.
I am. King Rat.
That's my trash.
Don't touch my trash. So I freaking wrangle this freaking PC out of the dumpster, right?
Now,
And
I guess, sorry, I already had a question. For this PC tower, looked like it was thrown in the trash or like set down in the
no,
trash?
it was upright in the trash. So like it didn't look like
Okay.
somebody just like hurled this thing in
Up
through the
in there.
top.
Yeah.
Also, how big of a dump? Full-size steel 2-lid dumpster,
Yeah,
or like
yeah,
just
yeah.
like the one you roll out to the curb?
Yeah, no, full like big like 3 or 5 yard dumpster.
So you had to like reach in,
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
or climb in,
Dude, okay.
basically, to get
I'm
at
willing
this.
I'm willing to risk it, okay?
Okay,
So-
I'm trying to imagine, right, this
Yeah.
person who's leaving it. Like,
Mhm.
are they reaching in full body to
Right.
delicately place this PC in
Must
there?
have been maybe
Yeah.
a tall person where they could do that
Yeah,
with
that's
less
possible too.
issues.
So our dumpsters, they have like a fence around them, right? So it's not unsightly in the neighborhood.
There's an
And-
aesthetic.
Yeah,
the whole
there
point.
is. And so I before I wrangle this thing out of the dumpster, I like peek my head out of like the fence, make sure that nobody's like coming or anything like that, because I do not want to be caught dumpster diving in this neighborhood. Okay, it would be frowned upon to say the least.
Be a massive blow to your opinion.
It would. It reminds me of I think you should leave the. Have you been fired for something completely and utterly embarrassing?
I cannot think about it without crying.
But anyway, so the coast is clear. So I pull this PC out of the dumpster, and first thing I do is I freaking pry the side panels off. Right, I'm like, what's under the hood, and pull it out. And first off, cable management, complete fucking mess. Okay, it was a literal rat's nest, but through all the freaking nasty like dust and cat hair, and I'm convinced that this person like had at least like smoked around their PC like a few times because it had a little bit of like gummy shit, like tarry substance by it. But so I, even beneath all this dust, I could see that it had some good components. Like I saw a stock Intel cooler, so I'm like, all right, pretty good sign right there. See a full-sized graphics card, like a 2-slot graphics card, and I was like, okay, this is promising. And then I see into the drives, and it's got a solid state drive and a hard drive, and the hard drive's a Western Digital. So I'm like, okay.
Okay.
And then
Sorry, I got a question already. Do you think it's a custom or a pre-built?
it was definitely custom built.
Really?
Yeah.
They're just putting that in the trash?
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Yeah, and the reason why I think it was a custom built one is because it was a full modular power supply, and it didn't have all the cables in it. It just had the cables that you needed for like the standard PC build. But so anyway, I cleaned it up, and I'm like, all right, this is good. This is good. So then I go ahead and I plug it in to like my peripherals, and I'm like, I don't know, I'm still kind of like skeeved out. I'm like, what if like there's something that can like a virus can get onto like my onboard memory on my mouse and then fuck my PC up. But
That'd be
a
quite the
long
move.
time.
I know it would be. I know. Gabe's shaking his head is like, what the fuck are you thinking, Dayton?
I mean, it's really common and like big hacks where people will just put like flash drives in parking lots, and then people go, "What's this?" And then it's whatever. But like, you're in a residential area.
I know.
Well, and it's an entire computer game.
It's
not
an
even
entire
like...
computer. It's not like it's an easy thing to plug in.
I know.
You don't plug it into another computer. You just plug it into a monitor.
Yeah. I know. So anyway, so like I work up the freaking courage to plug all my peripherals and shit in, and then I go and I press the power button, and then everything powers on. Friggin' ugly ass blue LED fan in the front, and I'm just like, well, it's a good sign it's turning on at least. And then it boots up immediately, has Windows installed on it, a fresh Windows install. Both the drives were formatted. And then because they were formatted, I'm like, I better see if I can recover some of these files, because I'm curious about this guy.
So did they not wipe it? Or
No,
did
they did format it, except usually when you format it, like depending on how you format it, Gabe would know more than I would, but depending on how many times they overwrite it, you can have some success in like recovering files off of it.
Whenever you delete a file, you never actually delete it. You just mark it to be overwritten. So it'll still be able to be read by a lot of programs. Like if you're actually deleting data, you want to delete it multiple times.
Right, and then rewrite it and delete it, rewrite it and delete it. So then it basically gets rid of that. So anyway, so I got a data recovery tool, a free one, and I ran it, and I let it sit for like 2-3 hours as it was just chugging through all these freaking files that it was finding, and open it up after it was done, and just a whole bunch of like system files and shit. I'm like, whatever, I don't care about this. But there were 4 video files that were like anywhere between like 60 megabytes and like 1 gigabyte. And I was like,
I'm scared.
And I was like, like I want to look at these. Like, what are these files? So I download a video player that can open them, because they were .flv video files.
Okay.
And I'm like, all right, I know
VLC.
Yeah, I was like, VLC can handle this, no problem. So then I try and open them, and it just like they're just like corrupted all shit, and like I literally couldn't even see anything. But that was really disappointing, because that was the only thing on it, and like I wanted to know more about this person. Like it was like when Joseph got his computer back in college, and I did some digging. Good times.
We don't need to talk about that.
You can skip that. Shit was found. That's all you need to know.
Yeah. Oh my god.
So there's nothing on this computer.
There was nothing on the computer, but everything ran well. The health on both the drives was like fantastic. So then I was like, all right, I don't know what I'm gonna do with this computer. Like, it's fully usable, but like my computer that I have right now is far better than it. So then I was just sitting around, and I was like kind of brainstorming ideas that I wanted to like use it. I was like, oh, what if I like made that as like a stream computer, or something like that? And Gabe like threw out like, what if you make it like a Linux server or something like that? And I was like, like none of those are really hitting the spot right now. So then my friend Connor, who I've been like running with a lot, and like we play soccer together and stuff like that, he was complaining how his laptop only has like a 960M in it, which is like a pretty shitty like laptop processor.
That's old.
Yeah. And I was like, oh, dude, I got something for you.
Here's my trash.
And he was like, oh no. Like he knows what I say, shit like that. Like, I'm up to something. And I was like, I just fished an entire working PC out of the dumpster. Do you want it?
If you want it, $100.
and he's like, dude, I'll take it. And then I was like, all right, dude, sick. That means that I, get this off my hands. Like, it was a fun project for a little bit.
For the PC,
and
it's going together.
And son, he comes over. It was just last night, actually. We deep cleaned this mother, right? We got like a shit ton of like air canisters. Re-thermal pasted both the GPU and the CPU. This thing's looking clean now. Redid all the cable management. Honestly, very, very slick looking computer now.
What brand of case was it?
No name case. It's honestly a shitty case.
Okay.
But
And then, was there any stickers on it?
no stickers.
Damn, this guy's a mystery.
I know, literally, complete mystery, and it doesn't really satisfy my nosy side. I want to know.
Sure.
But so anyway, so I was able to teach Connor all about PCs. You know, I had him do all like the major parts, like, you know, putting like we'd left the CPU seated, but had him like install the CPU cooler, install the GPU, everything else regarding that. Had him do all the cable management because I didn't want to fuck with that. It's not very fun. And then he's like, all right, well, I got a 30 rack of PBR waiting for you. And I'm just like, son of a bitch, like, that's a lot of beer. Like, damn, I'm not going to be able to drink that. But, yeah, so Joseph, that's how I got the fucking PBR, okay? My friend paid me in beer for a dumpster PC, okay? I didn't fish it out of the dumpster.
Damn, that would have been so much better. Like, oh, there's also a case of beer right next to it.
Well, did I ever tell you guys about the story when I was working at the GLRC up in Houghton when I fished the Coors Light can out of the portage and it was like a complete unopened can one summer?
I remember you drinking it.
Yeah, and then I drank it the night after. So
I
feel like if any of us went to a dumpster and found a full PC and a case of beer, be like, am I getting punked? Is this a trap specifically for me?
I feel like, yeah, it would be like an elaborate mouse trap where like I go in and it slams shut. Like, here, we've got a nerd.
Like the box with a stick.
Yeah,
exactly.
Under there.
I like finally calm down to start cracking beers and then okay, let's transfer them now.
That's a great story though, Dayton. I wish there were more information. I'm really surprised. My gut feeling is it was a pre-built. I know I've never seen his PC, but a no-name case and like nice but kind of standard parts makes me think pre-built. And if somebody was a custom PC, they wouldn't just throw it away. They would know they would probably resell it or something.
I don't know. There's a bunch of Navy guys here though, and they move all the time.
A brand new one though. They probably had a whole new computer that was way better, and they're like, I don't want this.
Yeah, they probably just decided to start from scratch. They didn't like the case. The parts are a little outdated. Fuck it. Just fucking, go from scratch.
Yeah.
But if I had to guess, what one of my friends did is when he was in high school, he bought like a pre-built, just like a standard computer, and then he would just upgrade it occasionally as he needed it.
Sure.
And so like, yeah, he's got like a Dell case, but he put, he's got like a 3080 in it or something right now, and like, better power supply and everything.
Oh, and
so
also
it's really just the case.
The other thing that makes me think that this was not a pre-built is the fact that it has an unlocked processor with an unlocked board in it as well. And it's like it's an i5 4670K with an Asus Z97A motherboard. So like,
oh dang,
it's a nice
good.
a nice motherboard. Like it
for
has
the time that was really good.
It has an M.2 slot in it, and like this is like a 7 or 8 year old motherboard.
That's probably a premium feature when they bought
Such
it.
a mystery, man. It's maybe it was somebody else built it and they bought it off of them on like this marketplace or something.
Maybe, I don't know.
I don't know why it's just a me thing, but I just cannot imagine building a computer and then when you have to move for somebody who's throwing it away. That makes no sense to me at all.
I don't know.
You'd be like sentimental about it.
No, dude. If you saw the inside of this PC, you would realize there was nothing sentimental about this thing. Like
this thing got used
and abused, dude. No cable management whatsoever. The airflow in it was garbage. It looked like it had never been cleaned before.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Probably wasn't.
But I will say, the solid state drive was screwed into one of the trays, which is like I don't even do that. So I don't know.
Huh. Well,
it's a mystery.
That's a mystery. That's a podcast mystery right there. But I want to hear from Joseph because I know you had a crazy night last night, was it?
Yeah. We actually Gabe was there too. He didn't decide to come until like 20 minutes before, but
yeah, because the resale tickets were like $45 like without fees or something, and then there was one that showed up for like half the price, and I was like, fuck.
Yeah, I think right before the concert they dropped.
It was like 10
10
minutes before the bus that we took.
Yeah, but we saw Mark. I almost said Mike Birbiglia. Mark Ribier, also
Loop
known
Daddy
as
himself.
Loop Daddy, who is he started off pretty much on YouTube, I believe.
I think so.
But just making music. All his live shows are completely improvised. He only played one like pre-recorded song, and he like asked the crowd, "Hey, which song should I play?"
And he played all three.
Yeah, he like did like all three like at once. So it was cool. It was really fun, high energy. The opener was pretty good too. They had a lot. It was fun listening to them. And it was at First Ave, which is
Nice.
a good venue. That was actually the first time I've been there. But yeah, we took a bus there and a bus back, and right now because of COVID, the bus is only $1. So it was, and they didn't even take my dollar on the way there. The guy's like, just get on. We're already running late. And I was like, I'm not gonna complain about holding on to $1. So that was nice.
That's awesome.
But yeah, it was super fun. Been looking forward to it for a while. So
yeah, and he's really exploded over in quarantine in popularity. I don't know how many subs up to on YouTube now, but goddamn, we've talked about before on the podcast. He's just an absolute madman.
Well, yeah,
the show was sold out.
Yeah, the show was sold out. Cooper ran into him while we were there. There's like 2 levels, right? Like there's like a balcony, and so there's a couple bars upstairs and then downstairs. So Cooper's like, everyone goes to the downstairs bar, so you go upstairs the bar, and on the way there, he walks past me and goes, "Hey, you're Mark." And he goes, "Yeah, what's up?" He goes, "Yeah, I'm just chilling before the show." And he's like, "That's so cool." And he's like, "I bought you a beer. You want? Here you go." And he goes, "Oh no, I'm fine. Thanks though." He's like, "All right, have a great show. Like, good luck." He's like, "Oh yeah, thanks." And so I got a free beer out of it, but yeah, Cooper ran into him, so that was pretty cool.
Yeah, that's awesome. Hell yeah.
But yeah, great time. Had a blast. It was really weird being at a concert and there's like 1 in maybe 8 people ish is wearing a bathrobe, because like that's his thing, is he wears a bathrobe and just underwear underneath. And so like I was just it caught me off guard. We're walking in and this group of people, like 5 people in silk bathrobes, just walks past us, and it's like, where the fuck am I?
How did they do the vaccine check? Because he was doing vaccine check for all the shows, right?
You just showed your
phone.
Yeah, or if you had the card, or like a negative test.
Gotcha. I thought it was going to be like when you buy the ticket, but I was like, wait, Gabe bought it resale.
Yeah,
that makes sense.
Yeah,
you kind of have to do it in person.
At the door, they check vaccine or test, and then they check your ID, to match the card or the test or whatever, and then for like a drink wristband.
Right.
So
cool, that's awesome.
Yeah, it was a blast.
Gabe, do you have another thing from this week you want to talk about?
Not too much to add. Like he was saying, went to the concert. It's pretty fun. Dude was pretty entertaining. At one point, some dude like threw like triple XL underwear like at his mic.
No, 5XL.
5XL.
He's like, this is.
It landed on his microphone. He was a really good like show. Like he did a good job putting on a show, because he was just like he like stops and he goes, "To put these on, I'd have to take this off," and he like had the robe or whatever, and then just like got on the floor and like lifted his legs up and like took his time to like put it on. It was really funny. The guy just, I don't know, he knew how to like get a crowd going for sure, so that was fun.
Yeah, he had bottles of champagne on the stage, or on his like thing, and he like pulled off the like cage, like just the cage, and like hucked it and like threw the cork into the crowd and just sprayed it. I would hate to be in the front, because they just got absolutely just soaked in champagne.
So sticky. Yeah. It was a good show. I think I don't know what else is going on in my life. I signed up for soccer league. Still waiting to see if that happens. It's supposed to be on Wednesdays. Might sign up for a second one. I got new.
Did you sign up solo, or do you have any other friends doing it as well?
So I have a friend at work who goes a lot, and he was the one who was like talking to me about it. But it sounds like his team's full, so I'm a free agent right now. I'm waiting to see if I get picked up for this season. So if not, there's a couple other leagues that I could always just jump on. But gonna switch, because they actually have like indoor soccer in Minneapolis. Crazy. They have the infrastructure for it, so I can play during the winter. So
who would have thought?
Yeah, it'd be fun.
I know Perk does Ultimate So if you ever want to do something like that, you should reach out to him. But
I've never played Ultimate besides like
It's fun.
I think I played at Tech, but I think
we played Frisbee, which is slightly different.
Yeah,
a lot more painful for the goalie in particular. Yeah, nice. My end, I have a pretty big update this week. So last week we were talking about existential crises and whatnot, and I was kind of beating around the bush of something I was going to announce this week. 'Cause I wasn't official yet, but so I've been here at Purdue for a year now in the nutrition science program, pursuing a PhD. But as of yesterday, I dropped down to a master's program. So instead of being here for 5 years, I'll be here for like two and a half ish. So I have another year and a half ish left. And basically, past like month or so, I've just been thinking a lot about like what I want to do with my life. Like, is what I'm doing now what I really want to be doing in the future? Because when I started and was looking at grad schools, like I really thought being like a professor or faculty member, was like what I wanted to do. But after being here for a year and seeing what that means, like what you have to, like what that job entails, I'm just like, fuck no. It's not like the idea of running a lab scares the shit out of me. The idea of coming up with original research scares the shit out of me. The idea of having to submit that in a grant proposal and praying it gets funded scares the shit out of me. So there's just too many. It's just too ambiguous all around, and that's kind of research in general. It's a very ambiguous job, I guess, of trying to pursue something that doesn't exist yet or hasn't been done yet. Yeah, I think I'm gonna step away from this path and just kind of get my master's and then figure out something else out. Don't fully know yet. I'll probably talk about it once I have a better idea of what that's gonna be, but I think I've found another thing that I don't want to do after engineering. So
nice. Well, just narrowing down the list.
Yeah, maybe hopefully eventually I'll find something that I actually like, but it's just very. I'm saying it's a lot to listen, just friends lead, but it's just so hard to figure out what you want to do with your life. Because like I've talked before in the podcast of being very content being on the path of like school, of like, yeah, like you go to elementary school, middle school, high school, then you go to college, and then supposedly you get a job and then get married and have a life. That's great, But once you get to the end of that path, the end of college, and you have to actually make a decision, it's not just like here's the next thing. It's like, fuck, like, what do I want to do? And I didn't want to do engineering, so I went to nutrition in grad school, and now I'm like, well, I don't want to do this either. Not necessarily not nutrition, but just not research. So yeah, it's just fucking annoying more than anything else. So yeah, we'll see what the next chapter entails, but for now, I'm gonna finish this off in about a year or so, and then move on to the next chapter. So, yeah.
Nice. Right on.
Gabe, I think your topic kind of ties into it, but do you want to introduce it? If you're still here, I can't tell if you're still here or not. Maybe not. We might have lost Gabe.
Yeah, I just messaged him, and he says my computer is fucked right now. Everything is frozen.
I remember he's been having this issue quite a bit recently.
Oh,
well, it happened on the stream. Remember his game crash or whatever?
Oh yeah, we were playing Palm Party on Monday.
Yeah, because I was winning.
For once.
Just saying. Saying.
And he can't say it's an internet issue because he would give her on the same internet, so it's like.
Yeah. No, I think it's straight up his computer.
It's just working lately.
Yeah. I mean, I have no idea, what it is, but it's been happening within the last couple months, I believe.
Well, we can kill some time, and our backup topic is finally going to come in handy. We've had this one backup topic for, I kid you not, like over a month, and we just never have had time to do it. And ironically, it's a Gabe topic. But I'm going to try to introduce it. So, from what I understand, Dayton, when Gabe was visiting, I don't know if Joseph was there too. Y'all were sitting at a cafe, and he posed the question: if you could talk to your 12-year-old self right now, so back in what do we say, sixth, seventh grade, this is 2008, 2009. Okay, put your mind back in those early middle school days. If you met with them and told them about your life, what's one thing they'd be like proud of you or excited about, and what's one thing they'd be very like disappointed about for how their future self has turned out. So I'll go to Joseph first. I think you've already talked about what the disappointment thing would be, which is possibly your diet.
Yeah, I don't know about disappointed. I think that'd be the most shocking thing.
Yeah, sir, as
Middle
shocking versus
school,
well. Yeah.
middle school me would be very shocked. Yeah, I think I've said it before that like high school and middle school me, I'm the today I'm the kind of person high school, middle school me would have made fun of.
Hmm.
So yeah, I could go with disappointed. Um,
I can use a strong word.
I could see 12-year-old me being disappointed there. Um, I don't know, like most proud of, I don't know, because I kind of was thinking about it the other day, but like don't get me wrong, graduating college is like it's impressive, it's a feat, not everyone does it.
Hmm.
You know, it's an accomplishment.
Right.
But at no point up until college was that a question for me. Like it was
Right.
like I'm gonna go to college, gonna get a degree. Like that was just a step. So I don't know if that would be an accomplishment. I think it would just be more interesting to like know that I did it,
Right.
rather than like be proud of it.
Hmm.
But I think, and now he's gone.
Hopefully it comes back soon.
But I think the biggest thing would be getting out of that like middle school depression that I had.
Mm.
Just that uh, I think everyone kind of goes through like weird, everyone's changing, just that weird
Yeah.
awkwardness. I think it would just be like, okay, it's fine after that. I mean, not fine, but like it it steps up,
Hmm.
and like
Hmm.
I've gotten to do a lot of things that I've, kind of wanted to do and done more like I don't know. I think Isle Royal 12-year-old me would be like, yeah, I just backpacked the Manistee River Trail for the first time. It took me 2.5 days. I did Isle 6 days on Isle Royal. What? That's so cool,
Hmm.
I
Hmm.
think that would be actually be one of the top things, or like even just the places I've gone skiing and snowboarding since.
Yeah. Well, I think even be like, you're telling me that you graduated from college now you're living with your friends and you got a girlfriend and stuff. Like, come on.
Yeah,
That's
that would
that's some
also.
street cred right
I
there.
get a girlfriend? What? That would, yeah, and like living in a big city, like,
Yeah.
yeah, I don't know. I could see that, yeah.
Yeah. That's awesome. Dayton, what about you?
Uh, I think that my middle school self would be very surprised about literally everything. The fact that I'm living in Connecticut, like I don't even think I knew that Connecticut was a state when I was in middle school. Um,
Hmm.
One that I would be, working in the field that I am, doing what I am. Uh, I think it's just, I mean, one, it's just kind of like a career, or it's work that nobody really ever thinks about, right? Like, how often you think about fucking submarines? I don't know.
All right.
Um, I think that I'd be surprised that like I actually moved away uh,
Mm.
from all like my friends back home. Um, and also I think that be surprised to hear that I went to like New Zealand and then I'm also like
Yeah.
running as much as I am and that I don't know. Yeah, I think literally everything. I've changed a lot since middle school.
Hmm.
Well, in middle school, not to be like rude about it, but that's when you were your biggest, right? Like your
No,
fattest, right?
no, I
Oh,
wasn't.
wasn't?
No, that was like
Okay.
junior year of high school.
Okay.
Middle school, I was probably pretty similar build to what I am now, to be honest.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Okay. Sorry, I may have just got a message from Gabe. Okay.
but
He's
yeah,
working on it.
okay. Um, I'm trying to think of what else I'd be surprised to. I would definitely be surprised that I was vegan.
Mm.
That's for sure.
Hmm. Dayton loved his meat back in the day.
I did used to eat a decent amount of meat. I liked my salami. You know,
Yeah.
I liked getting my like 3 a.m. steaks after I lifted at like 1:30 in the morning. Uh,
Sloppy steaks.
Sloppy steaks. They try to stop you, but they can't.
uh, uh, my end is it'd be a trip to talk to middle school Jacob, man.
I would say especially like right now, since
Yeah,
you've kind of
especially
just recently decided to actually switch to just a master's rather than PhD. You know, like when you were
yeah,
PhD is one thing, but to be like, yeah, I'm kind of backing out of that. Not backing
yeah.
out, but you
I'm
know,
switching it up. Yeah,
altering course.
yeah.
Right.
No,
Yeah.
yeah. If I talk to my 12-year-old self like tomorrow, that'd be such a weird thing because I'm with Joseph where it's like I don't think it was ever like a question of like me going to college. Grad school might have been a little bit of a surprise, but especially this switch would have been like, oh, okay, that's interesting. Um, I think I don't think I started listening to podcasts yet. I'm pretty sure I didn't start listening to podcasts until I was well, I don't know if podcasts were like fully around back then, but I'm pretty sure I listened to
Probably not as
podcasts,
mainstream.
yeah, like end of high school. So like end of high school, Jacob would have been like, you have your own podcast? That's awesome. Um, but middle school Jacob, he didn't know that shit. Uh, I think the politics conversation would be interesting. That middle school Jacob very homophobic. So that would have been a conversation we would need to have. Um, I think he'd be surprised where I am now with my politics and with respect to like and just everything with my upbringing regarding that all the Christian stuff. Um, so that'd be a shift. And then anime, I guess. 12-year-olds
Yeah.
probably would have made fun of me. Probably make fun of me for my anime taste, but I've been like, you'll get it. You'll get it someday.
The
I would
classic
tell him
adult move.
start watching it in high school, and you'll thank me later. But yeah, yeah. I'm saying I feel like I've just changed so much because like back then I was just very much like do school, go run, play Modern Warfare 2 after school. Like I mean, it was just like those are the days where every night was just like playing Xbox with my friends, which was very comfortable. Um, so yeah, I feel like I've changed a lot of it. I think it'd be a very interesting conversation to have.
Hmm. That kind of reminds me. So I recently just went and ran at like the local high school track on like I think it was Tuesday or
Oh,
something like
yep,
that.
yep.
And so I mean it's fall sports season right now, and you know I drive past like I don't know like probably three plus probably like soccer fields slash football fields.
Hmm.
You know tons of people out on them practicing. And then like you know like the band kids like marching band and or not marching band like whatever it is like when they go out on like the football field and do like their
Marching
like
band.
routine. Is that marching band? Okay.
Yep.
I never did it. So and then like color guard was out there and
Hmm.
you know I'm out there and it's like 7 o'clock, like 7:15 ish, like pretty late in like the night, and there are still like tons of people, like tons of students
Yeah.
out uh like doing their extracurriculars. And it's like for me, I don't remember that. I don't remember being out that late for my extracurriculars. I always started them immediately after school and I was done at like 5.
Yeah. I think high school has gotten even more busy since we've graduated. Like, I remember my brother, he's only 3 years younger than me, but his schedule seemed way busier than mine was in high school. But I'll put on record, high schoolers are the busiest uh, people on the planet. At least they're definitely more busy than college students. I could say that with definite certainty because they have to get there relatively early. With like
Uh-huh.
our school started at like 7:20. They're there all day until like 2:30, and then most of them are in some sort of extracurricular, and they're at least 5. Maybe they're in a second thing. They have another thing, or like Dayton saying
Mhm.
if it's like marching band, they're super late because that practice is insane,
Mhm.
and then they have to do homework, and then
Right.
again they're doing AP, possibly doing AP or extra clubs and shit, and
Mhm.
it
And
started
they
the
might
next
be
day. It's like they're just
working.
busy as shit,
They might
and they
be
might be
working
working on the
too.
weekends, and it's just like it just sounds horrible. Like I could not imagine going back to that.
I
See, I
remember during like peak robotics season,
Hmm.
'cause we kind of started the robotics team, so like it was still like figuring shit out. There would be like a solid 2 weeks every year. Granted, this is like during the winter time, so like the day's already pretty short, where we would get to
mm,
Oh, we might have lost Joseph now.
Oh,
What is going on at that house?
this we might as well just call this episode the dumpster fire episode. Like, literally, Joseph's
That's
face
very
is frozen.
accurate.
It's so funny too. Oh my gosh.
Well, I'll wait for him to come back. But
Yeah.
but I think I was in marching band for a little bit, Dayton, because that was the fall thing. For if like you were in band, you had to be in marching band, and I fucking hated it. Because those practices were super long, like you're saying. Like you had probably do it twice a day in the summer at least. I don't know how much it was in the fall, and you were just there super late trying to learn all the routines and shit, and it just
Right.
fucking sucked.
Yeah. Dude, the one lady, she was like up in the bleachers, like yelling or not really yelling. She was just like talking to like
Giving
all like the
orders,
students and well, fuck. I don't know if I have a 2-person template here. I don't.
We never expected the podcast to be two people.
That's so funny. I have 2-person gaming, but I don't.
Maybe just turn off the template and just be two of us on a black background.
Oh, and just fuck. I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. I don't have just a blank one though. I guess I can like make a quick one.
This is fucking hilarious.
This is literally so absolutely messy. It is. I am so flustered right now.
No, yeah, I'll kill time. I'll talk about more marching band. I'm trying to remember how much like because when
Okay.
you ran by the other day, how much color guard was there?
Well, if they were all doing it, I think it was just color guard. I don't think it was.
Oh, it was also marching band.
Yeah, I don't think it was marching band. Now that I'm thinking about it, I think it was just color guard. But there were
You
like,
sure it wasn't a dance team?
yeah, I'm sure because one of my coworkers does it. Does like she coaches the color guard, and she was out there. So there's like 20 people out there, maybe 15.
Okay. Yeah, 'cause I feel like we only had like 4 or 5 color guard people, which was just like not enough, you know? Like we'd have when we had to like
It,
marching through like a street, they were just like in the front, and it's like okay, there's a couple, and then we would do like field shows. There was like a few like in the front row, but it's like this is not enough I feel like, to make
and
like an impact.
yeah, and I feel like it's not even impressive, right? Like if you have 5 people
Yeah,
twirling around some flags, like it's like who gives a fuck? Like I don't care.
yeah.
But if you get 25 people in sync twirling their flags, that
hmm
looks sick.
hmm Well, I mean, everybody's seen the Ohio State marching band videos. Like they're absolutely incredible,
Hmm.
and it's like when you know that exists, watching like a high school marching band perform, you're like, okay, this kind of sucks. I'm not gonna lie, because I
Right.
remember our show was like mostly Beatles songs, and it's just like no one wants to hear this or watch this.
Right.
Like unless you're like one of the high schools that's like super into it and like does like national level shit. Like one of
Hmm.
the schools in our district, usually went to the Macy's Day, Thanksgiving Macy's Days parade and was in that, for marching band, which is
Mm.
was crazy. But yeah, marching band not a big thing at my school. It was just
No,
a thing everyone had to do, but it sucked.
I don't. Well, what's like the thing when you go down to Florida and like go down to like Disney for like band? Is that marching band?
We did that. We took a bus, drove all the way
Yeah.
down to Disney, then you marched through Disney World.
Yeah. I can
Yeah,
only imagine how fucking long and unbearable
dude,
that
it's
parade
the
is to
heat.
watch. Like,
Well, yeah, I mean for the people watching, I'm sure it's boring, but for
yeah.
us, it's just you're. I mean, it's Florida in the summer, and you're wearing like a all black outfit that's like pants and like a jacket and a hat and shit, and you're just like,
Right.
kill me, dude. It was just the fucking worst.
Yeah, that sounds like a recipe for heat stroke.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
Uh, well, I was thinking about what like I don't remember what I did after school in high school.
Weren't you in
And
sports?
I was, well, that's what I'm saying. Like outside of like sports, like so like when I actually got home after
Right.
like high school and after my extracurriculars, I don't remember what I did. Like, and I think maybe what it comes down to is I was just like doing so much stuff that like I really wasn't at home that much.
Right. I mean, that like totally could have been it. I mean, you're probably doing homework for some period of time.
Yeah.
Um, but I remember I missed this so much, Dayton. But I would get home from cross country or whatever, eat, take a shower. Let's say I don't have homework that night. I just go to my room, sit on my beanbag, put on my headset, turn on my Xbox, text my friends, "You getting on?" And we all just get an Xbox party and just we play different games, but we just talk. I'd be playing
Hmm.
like Assassin's Creed or
Yeah.
maybe Call of Duty or something, and we just chat all night, and then maybe eat some ice cream and go to bed. Like, it's just like the best. You're just like chilling with your friends, playing games every single night, and not a care in the fucking world. It was fantastic. You didn't have to think about life or any of that bullshit.
Yep.
I miss that so much.
That reminds me though, in the winter season when I wasn't like doing any real sports. All right, looks like Joseph is.
Did we get
trying...
Joseph? Are you there?
Oh, are they both
did we get both of them back?
Oh,
okay, we got Gabe.
Is my video not?
No.
There is Joseph.
Oh my gosh.
Jesus.
You don't realize what a perfect storm just happened for me. Okay. So, are you guys talking about anything? Can I talk for a little bit?
We're just talking about the good old days.
Go right ahead.
Okay. So, this has happened. It's happened on Monday, right? Like my computer did this thing where it like froze and like nothing was clickable, but like it looked like it was running. Some of like the graphic elements would still work, but a lot of the times it would get super weird, and I couldn't even like run a command from command prompt to shut it down, like shutdown/r/20 or whatever. Like I can't open anything, and I was doing shortcuts instead of GUI, so it'd be like simple as possible. Wasn't working. It's like, okay, I probably got an update and I got corrupted. That shit happens all the time. So I've dealt with this before a few times. Man, I have some experience seeing this shit. So I like do my normal shit. It like found some corrupted things, like fix. I'm like, sweet, good to go. Update my drivers because that's also something. I do all my step. I'm like, it's gonna be working. It's gonna be fine. Obviously, it didn't. It crashed. And then on top of that, I looked down at my phone and I had no Wi-Fi. And like, that's fucking weird. So then I reboot, no Wi-Fi, and I'm like, or no network. I'm cabled in, like a direct connection. So I was like, this is a problem.
And at this point is when Joseph left.
Yeah.
So I didn't know if he got kicked out, and that's why I was like, because there's a separate cable for my network up here. Well, it's the same router, but like the AP, like the wireless stuff, and like my direct one switch, and then there's shit going down to Joseph's room. So like I don't want to mess with his stuff. So I didn't want to like completely turn it off. But then once he said his was off, I'm like, okay, fucking rebooting it. But moral of the story is perfect storm. Apologies. I'm gonna have to completely reimage my computer at this point because I don't know what's wrong with it, which is fine. And I don't know what's going on.
Hey, it made for an interesting podcast because first Gabe leaves, and we're like, okay. Just like, yeah, his computer's been fuck you lately. I'm like, all right, fine. And then Joseph just
I was like mid-sentence.
You were.
I was mid-sentence, and then the screen is like Discord, like there's no like way to close it. It just said like Discord not working. And I was like, what the fuck am I supposed to do here? So I like paused my recording because I was like just like, what the fuck?
I
Like
lost that completely.
You didn't need all this audio of me figuring it out.
It's like, what are the chances that Gabe's computer works and your internet goes out at the same time? But then, so me and Dayton are in a canoe without a paddle.
Yeah.
Like, all right, we're down to 2 people, and Dayton has to make a fucking overlay on the fly for the Twitch stream. It's just like, what the fuck is going on right now?
I didn't even make an overlay. I was literally just capture this monitor. I don't care.
I'm so sorry, guys. It's not like I knew it was gonna happen, but like,
I mean, even if your computer didn't work, both of you would have been dropped anyway because the internet thing. So
100%. But it's just like it happens.
Classic bullshit.
I don't know. I think it's just say it.
Well, here's the thing. While you were gone, we did the 12-year-old self topic, and now we don't hear your answer.
you guys did that. That's
what
good.
are the things your 12-year-old self would be shocked by, disappointed by, or excited about? Looking at you today.
Well, I don't know if my 12-year-old self was very edgy, but I don't think it'd be like, oh, he sold out or anything. But I think I'd be pretty surprised that I like the career that I'm in. Like. I always thought I was going to do a lot of like science. I was really into archaeology for a while, which was kind of dumb.
Okay.
Not dumb.
Dinosaur shit?
Archaeology is cool. Yeah, like dinosaur shit. But like,
I mean, every kid was into dinosaurs. I mean,
yeah. But like, I think like thinking about it realistically, like just spending, even if you do like become super successful, you're just sitting in the desert, just like brushing away.
It's just like a career path. I'm sure it's insanely hard to get into.
Yeah. So I think like the career itself would be pretty shocking, and also like it's 12 middle school.
It's 6th, 7th grade.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there's no way I would have believed I would have this many friends.
Yeah.
Or generally be doing like this well. I don't know. Like middle school is a dark time, man. I think that would be the biggest thing.
Yeah.
So I think my 12-year-old self would be like, yeah, you got a cool snowboard and shit. I don't know. I think like what I actually cared about when I was 12. I thought of this topic like 2 months ago, so I don't even remember what triggered it, to be honest.
Yeah. Do you think you'd be sad by how your hair has turned even more gray?
Yeah. Oh, 100%.
Well, I can't imagine your hair was very gray in middle school.
It was not. Dude, today at work, so we have a group chat with everybody in us, and someone was talking about a feature on Microsoft Teams that I didn't know existed. And I was like, for the people with gray hair in this chat, how do you do that? So yeah, definitely the gray hair for sure.
You just reminded me of something else on my end. Except I talked about some other stuff, but you mentioned
do a
the friends
monologue,
thing.
like an SNL monologue.
You know, me and Dayton, we had it covered. All right,
Mhm.
but
Good.
with the friends thing, like my best friend in middle school at that time, I'm not friends with anymore. I think that would have been a massive shock to my younger self of what happened with that friendship, how it kind of blew up. So yeah, shit changes, man. I mean, that was how many years ago? 12. I mean, it's essentially 12 years ago.
Yeah, I mean, I think even if I asked myself that question, not like a 12-year-old self, but like just before I graduated college, like now even my life is like so much different. It just changes so quickly, man. You know?
Yeah. Because when did you get into like computer stuff?
High school. I started like every person starts out with like custom computer stuff that you find out of a dumpster.
We've all
standard.
Everyone's
Yeah.
in a dumpster PC in their life. No, it was definitely freshman or sophomore year of high school. And then I wanted to do programming, which I'm not good enough at to want to do full time. So it's still fun to do on the side. It's just I like the easy stuff, like the quick. Like I'm the only one doing it. I don't have to like merge my changes. Well, I do have to do that now, but like I don't have to like make some big ass program with a bunch of other people. I can just go rogue. Right. So I think that's where it started, and I thought like programming was really cool, and then kind of just went from there.
Nice. Well, and then the other thing we were talking about, you guys are both gone, talking about middle school, high school stuff, but just how busy high schoolers are. But we were saying once you guys got home from high school after you finished all your shit and maybe your homework, what did you do at night? Because I was saying I was playing Xbox 360 with my friends every single night. But what were you guys doing back then?
You mean like besides consuming every calorie I had at my disposal? That was mostly what I remember, is just eating a lot.
I feel like
runner's metabolism.
I had so many extracurriculars, and I don't even know why I did them. Like fall was always really rough for me because I did band. So like it was marching band for like the football season, which our football team sucked. There was no point to support it with a band. And I did soccer at the same time. So there'd be times where I'd like get up at like 5 to go to like early runs of soccer, go to band camp, then go home for lunch, go to band camp afternoon, and then soccer afternoon, and I wouldn't be done till like 11 o'clock a lot of the times. And I don't know why I did that. So I don't really remember what I did with my free time.
Because everyone says you have to be well-rounded if you want to get into college.
I think so, yeah. And I think that's partly why I am a little bit more careful about what hobbies I choose and like how I choose to spend my time, because I think I have anything else going on. So it's like, oh, I'll just do all this stuff. And there's nothing else to do in my hometown, really. I don't think I did much besides soccer and band and NHS and all that other bullshit.
Fuck NHS, dude.
That was such
a fucking racket.
What a waste of my time.
I never joined it. So like, I could see the bullshit.
Well, I didn't want to join it, but like my step aunt was or is, I don't know what she does now. She was an admissions person for I think University of Michigan, and my parents asked him, like, is this something they care about? And she's like, absolutely. Fuck. I'm not gonna lie, guys. I lied a lot on my volunteer hours. I knew the guy who signed
Everybody
the sheet.
did. Everybody did. That's all I heard about
And
people who were in HS.
I would go to the Humane Society. I'd pet dogs for like an hour, and I'd do 1, and then I'd turn it into a 4, and then my friend would sign it off.
Yeah.
Look at me now.
Yeah.
I remember my senior year, they didn't even ask us for a record. They just said, "Did you get your hours?" And I was like, "Yep." And they're like, "Good enough for me."
We had to have a sheet. The other pro shit was do any activity that was 0.5 and put a number in front of it that you needed. So it was pretty easy.
Yeah, my heart goes out to high schoolers. If there's any high schoolers listening right now, I'm sorry. Because you guys, I said before, you guys are the busiest people on the planet. And it fucking sucks because I think they all feel like they have to, and they probably do have to get into colleges because the competition can be so,
I don't even
fierce.
think you realize how like busy you are until like senior year, and you're just like, this shit sucks. Like,
you're just drowning.
This isn't fun.
I mean, I can't speak for everyone, but like, I feel like for people in our kind of, bracket, AP classes, sports, other extracurriculars possibly, you're just doing so much shit all the time. You don't really have time to do anything else. And like maybe you're working on the week. I was working on the weekends in high school. And it just sucks. And I mean, you're just so packed. And then you get to college, you're like, I have so much goddamn free time. This is amazing. And that's why I fucking love college.
I feel like that's why so many people like absolutely drop the ball when they go in college, because like they have all this free time and it's like, well, what do I do with it?
I can study later. I can
Exactly.
You're not forced to be in a classroom for however many hours a day that was, like 7 hours a day.
Yeah, I think I did extracurriculars more than I studied in high school, though. Except for AP classes, I definitely had to study for those.
Yeah,
those were, I mean, obviously it's college level class or whatever. So
yeah. I mean, going back to my switch here, like when we get to the end of undergrad, I mean, most people were saying like, I'm done with college. I want to just go out and like get a job and like live my life.
That's where I'm at. Yeah,
I was like, like I could go either way. Like I'm fine with more school. Like I like school fine and grad school. Like I'm not worried about grad school. Like I'm not sick of this environment yet. But now it's been another year. I'm so sick of it now, guys. I want to be done so bad. I hit my limit.
I don't even know how you could go that long. Like, I don't know. I have a lot of great memories of college, socially, but I mean, I'm trying to think if I was busy. I think I was busier in college than high school, just in a different way. Like, classes were much more intense, and I worked a lot more. But I also spent a lot of time with friends more. Like, I was always doing something. I had very little downtime. Not that like all of that downtime or those doing things were like stressful, but I don't know.
Yeah, looking back on any part of my life is nostalgic in some way. Like I'm sure, I mean, rose-colored glasses, right? But high school's super busy, but also like you remember some of the good stuff and romanticize a little bit. But I just remember I remember my brother, he's 3 years younger than me, listening to him talk about his senior year of high school. I was like, holy shit, you are the busiest person I know. And meanwhile I'm in college just chilling. Like I'm like,
I
you
drink
just
on the weekends,
binge
most
watch
weekdays.
like 7 hours of One Piece a day.
Well, I feel like that's doing something. It's just a different type of doing something, you know?
Yeah. I mean,
you get to choose it better, I guess.
Yeah. Because, I mean, you guys remember we lived in the house. I put in 90 hours into Persona 5 in 2 weeks.
Dude, I didn't see you except to eat and when you had to take a shit. That was it. Like
I was having a good time. Yeah.
I'm glad you had fun.
And people say you didn't have a social life. I had a social life in the game. I had relationships with the characters in the game.
I think
Same thing.
Wow.
My most distinct memory of Jacob in college is it'd be like, I don't know, like 10, like late in the morning. And we'd all kind of get up and stumble and get down, you know, and then we'd tell war stories of the night before, just being obnoxious, cook breakfast. And then like an hour, sometimes 2 hours later, Jacob comes out in his bathrobe, stumbling, eyes barely open. Hey guys.
The only time you see him wear glasses and he complete grout fit.
Complete grout fit every single time.
He would also, he would have the gray sweatpants and sweatshirt. I was playing Persona till 3:30 last night. I said to do one more day.
Yeah, I said one more day. One more day in that game. So the games like that are so different. That was the same thing junior year when I was on my internship in Middle Michigan, which fucking hate Middle Michigan. But I didn't know no one like lived around me. I didn't have any friends really, so every night I would get home from work, crack a soft parade, and play Stardew Valley, and just be chilling on my farm. It's like one more day, and then I'd pay for it the next morning, so I had to be in by 8 a.m. But
dude, I remember one time. I think it was when Destiny 2 launched, because we all got in on it. We all bought in on it.
Yeah.
But Max played Destiny 1. Like the first day I met him, he was playing Destiny. This guy's a huge Destiny fan. So the game comes out, and he just didn't go to sleep. I remember like getting up, getting ready to go to work. I think I was going to work or class. It doesn't matter. And I was like getting breakfast. And I'm like, oh, hey, Max. Hey, like, you going to class? Because I think for some reason I drove him, or we like met each other at like a certain room for an hour. And he goes, oh, I didn't sleep. Like, what? He's like, oh, yeah, I'm just going to take the day off. I played Destiny all last night. I'm going to take a nap and keep playing.
Okay. I'm pretty sure the first time I met Max, when his dorm room, he was playing Destiny.
Oh,
yeah, no, I think
hands down. That's all he always was. I think he played Destiny from its release until Destiny 2's release.
I think so.
I think I know the game each of you were playing when I met you for the first time. Max was playing Destiny. Gabe was playing Titanfall 2.
Yeah.
Joseph was playing Skyrim.
Really?
And
sounds about right.
I don't think Dayton was playing a game.
He was on a Rocket League by the time you met
him.
It
was probably RL.
He just sucked then.
I
did not suck when I met
the
Jacob.
games in the dorms.
There was like a sweet 3 months where I was better than Dayton because I had 3 months on him.
Yeah.
And then Dayton didn't know the game existed yet.
I bought it earlier than him because there's a guy across or down the hall from us who played and convinced me to get it. And then he got it and played with us, and like he passed me pretty quick because he like practiced. Oh, dude, I was practicing my kick extra musty crusty flick.
Musty crusty flick.
It's a classic move right there. All right, well, we made it. We made it to the end of this episode somehow.
Did we even get to the topic we wanted to get to? I don't think we
Nope.
did.
Well, we'll save it for next time, baby.
God.
I like. We're gonna call this a dumpster fire episode because it involved dumpsters and it was also a dumpster fire. But we had a good time.
My computer's getting rebuilt. Next Thursday, it's gonna be a clean install.
Fingers crossed. But until next time, you know the drill. See us on YouTube, podcast services, Instagram, Twitch. But yeah, till next time. Thanks for watching. Bye.
Bye.
Sorry. Bye.